Hello everyone. So today is the last day of our CISM live classes series. But I just want to say that this is not the end of the journey. I can say this is the beginning of the journey for you to prepare for the CISM exam. Because once you go through all these 10-day classes, live classes, then you are able to understand the whole concept of the CISM in a holistic way, I can say. And by knowing this concept of the CISM and the concepts of each and every domain, it is very easy for you to understand the whole thing, right? So that was my ultimate aim for the whole series to create a holistic picture of the overall CISM in your mind. So once you are able to understand the whole scenarios, I can say that some of the task statements which we have discussed in different domains of this CISM, with all this knowledge, now you have a framework ready with you. You need to fill that particular framework. And to fill that particular framework, you require more knowledge. I can say knowledge of standards, knowledge of processes, knowledge of different items which we have discussed. Even we can say knowledge of the controls, some of which we discussed and some of which we have not discussed in this particular live series. This is all about CISM. But as a, I can say, as a CISM certificate holder, I can say CISM exam is more about having the practical approach of dealing with all the things, right? That's why we discussed so many scenarios, different scenarios in this particular series. And if you go through each and every domain of CISM, you will find that everything is having a practical approach with which they have explained everything in all these four domains. They are having a practical approach. So we can say that a information security manager need to understand all these four domains in depth. These four domains of CISM, like the information security governance, information security risk management. Uh, Please 1 second. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. Anyone can answer please on this? Yes. Okay. Then let's keep on working on our. So this particular domain, we can say uh, all these four domains, like the first one is the information security governance, the second one is the information security risk management, information security program development and management, and the information security incident management. All these four domains of CISM are there to make you aware of the situation which as a information security manager you need to handle, right? So you need to understand each and every domain in detail. But as we go through the review manual of this particular ISACA review manual for ISM certification, that is giving each and everything in detail. Yes, I can also understand the same, but it is also very confusing, right? And as we are more technical people, not from the management side, that particular book is written in a very management uh, level language. So I can suggest you that you need to understand the concepts. You need to understand what are the concepts this book is going to discuss, right? And then you need to touch the concepts using different methods, using some videos, using some other notes. Also, you can do one more thing. The second thing is you start referring the frameworks, or we can say the international standards, because those are more important to make you aware and to make you understand all the concepts related to CISM, right? So sorry, but before that you need to know what are the frameworks are there which you need to refer, which are those frameworks, and what are the technique via which you can refer those frameworks. Normally frameworks are having lots of pages, lots of content is there, and these international standards, when we start referring them, we find very confused. Also the language is very tough in most of them, right? So but I was doing, I am suggesting to you also, I was referring some of the mapping documents like CCM and other mapping documents are also there. But today I will, in this particular video, I will show you how you can also use those mapping documents to understand different standards and map them together so that you can have a complete picture of all those standards using a single document. So that is the aim of this particular video. That is the aim for today's video. Because as an information security manager, you need to understand all those standards. For the exam point of view, yes, if you know the concept, then it is very easy for you to clear the exam. But you need to, as an information security manager, for you, understanding of the concept is one part, and understanding of the framework, how to use them, where to use them, and what exactly are there in those frameworks is very important for you. So that's why this 10th day of CISM I have dedicated for this particular purpose only, right? So it is more like a practical video, I can say. There will be no more slides. I will just refer a CCM document and I will just map all these standards one by one, and I will show you how exactly you can also utilize the mapping of these standards using different scenarios, right? So this is what my aim for the class is. Moving further, okay, when I'm talking about the framework, then you need to understand that okay, before starting this framework, let's have a quick view of each and every domain. Then I will map the standards with each and every domain. So it will be very easy for you to start a mapping in your mind also, right? For as an information security manager, okay, I'm taking a scenario that you are a information security manager, and as an information security manager, you need to interact with a top management or the governance body. So you need to understand the concept of information security governance, what exactly information security governance means, how exactly we can make information security governance, or what exactly information security governance consists of, and how to accomplish the role related to information security governance. Also, you need to understand the purpose of information security strategy, its objective, and the reasons and the steps required to develop any information security strategy in any environment. Also, using all these concepts of related to the information security governance and related to the information security strategy, you need to develop business cases so that you can get the proper commitment, or we can say approval, from the senior leadership. Finally, the top management or the governance body requires some metrics from your end, from a information security manager end, so that they are able to understand the situation of information security in your environment. That is where you require the metrics. So you need to understand the requirement of those metrics. You need to understand the selection, how to select the different metrics, and how you can create those metrics. So that is what is required in the very first domain of CISM, that is the information security governance. So we can say knowledge of the governance, information security governance, knowledge of the strategies, and knowledge of we can say policy, procedures, guidelines, how to create them, how to relate them with each other, how to develop a business case, and how to take or gain commitment from the top management or senior leadership. That is, and finally, providing metric to the top management or senior leadership. That is the aim of the first domain. So if you are able to do all these, then we can say you are able to handle the information security governance part easily, right? So this is about the domain one. When we move to the domain two is more about the risk management. When we are talking about risk management, we can say as an information security manager, it is your role to bring down the risk to the of that particular organization. While you are going to bring that particular risk down, you need to understand first what exactly the risk associated to that particular organizations are. And for that particular purpose, you require risk management. First, you need to do a risk analysis, then you risk mitigation techniques you need to select. So this whole process, we call it as a risk management. So in risk management, you need to understand the importance of risk management as a tool for meeting the business needs, because ultimately you need to, sorry, you need to protect the business of the organization for which you are working. You need to develop some security management program to support all these needs. Also, you need to understand why, or we can say the ways to identify, rank, and respond to risk as per the organizational requirement or directives. With this, you also need to know how to assess and the risk. or the effectiveness of the controls which you have implemented in your environment, right? Finally, you need to create some reports where you need to mention about all those risks. This is whole about the domain 2, that is the information security risk management. So there are some standards available for this also. For the first part also, we are going to discuss about those framework or those international standard in the next uh, it means in the coming slides we are going to discuss about those. Finally, the domain 3 and the domain 4. If we talk about these two domains, then the domain 3 is about secure information security program development and management. So as an information security manager, either you need to manage a prefabricated or pre-running program of information security of organization, or if you joined any new organization, then you need to create a new program, right? So you need to know about the development and management of the same, and this is the aim of the domain 3. So here you need to understand about the broad requirements and the activity which you need to do to create, manage and maintain any information security program to implement information security strategy in that particular environment. Also, this domain will tell you how to understand, how to define, how to utilize the resources required to achieve the IT goals. IT goals are for maximum resource utilization. It means that is not for the IT goals are not related to security. So you need to have your security goals assigned aligned with the IT goals also with organizational objective. And in this particular domain itself, you understand about the three components: people, process and technology. Because whenever we are talking about the security, we need to take a holistic approach for the security. And while you are taking this holistic approach, you need to think about all these three components related to that particular organization. These three are people, process and technology, without which it is not possible to execute the information security strategy as the way we want the same, right? So this is all about the domain 3. And the last domain, that is the domain 4, which we have covered, the task statement of the same, which we have covered in the last 2 days, is about the information security incident management. So it helps us to prepare for the doomsday, which will help us to identify, analyze, manage and respond effectively to unexpected events, or we can say incidents which can adversely affect the information security assets or the abilities to function properly of any particular organization. So as a manager, it is your responsibility to identify the component of any incident management plan. Also, you need to you should also be able to evaluate the effectiveness of any already available incident response plan. And finally, you should also be able to understand the relationship among the incident response plan, a disaster recovery plan, and a business continuity plan. Normally, we people are confused in all these three, but as an information security manager, it is your responsibility to understand the difference between these and the relationship between these three. So that is the aim of the domain 4. So this is a holistic view about the whole CISM. But when you want to give the exam of CISM, then you need to understand all the domains altogether, and then you need to combine the knowledge of all those four domains altogether. And for doing the same, I just want to recommend one very good document to you. And that particular good document is a NIST special publication. That is, it means it is a free of cost document. You can also download the same. It is Information Security Handbook. Sorry, it is an information security handbook for we can say a guide for a manager, right? So I'm going to discuss the same with you, right? And it is NIST special publication 800-100. The I can say the nomenclature of that this particular guide is okay. So that is a very good, and it covers each and every domain. The four domains which we have discussed here, it covers each of them in detail. So it is very good for you to have a holistic view first. Just go through that particular document first. I'm also creating a video on the same. You can also watch it. I think by this coming weekend, I'm able to upload the same. So moving to the next one. Okay, this is one part. Now you understand about the whole CISM. But as I told you, as an information security manager, you need to understand more. You need to have the knowledge about the frameworks also. So which are those frameworks for which you need to have a complete understanding and knowledge? These frameworks are COBIT, the ISO 27000 series, the ISO 31000 series, and the NIST document. So I have not detailed out these further. The reason for the same is in different environment, different requirements are there. But you need to understand that, okay, these are the series available, and within from this particular series, I can pull out the uh, document or the standard which is applicable or which is required in my environment. So we can say for the COVID, uh, as per the CISM, we are having COVID 5, but the latest standard for the same is COVID 2019, which is having a proper mapping with the older one with some new changes. So we need to understand that also. Then the second one is the ISO 27000. That is the most important document for an information security manager, because most of your life in information security uh, as a information security management lies with the information security management system, ISMS. And this particular 27000 series is about ISMS only. So it is very easy for you if you understand this in a complete in-depth way, because COVID is more about the top management level, about the upper level, but 27000 series is about the middle management level. So it is very important for you to understand the 27000. So we can say 27000 series help us in creation and implementation of information security governance and management framework in our environment. So this 27000 series ensure all the element of security are addressed in any organizational security strategy. And they have divided the whole thing into 14 areas, which is covered in the ISO 27001 2013 standard. Okay, with this, it provides a complete coverage of security to that particular environment. These 14 control clauses as defined in the standards are information security policy, organization of information security, HR security, asset management, access control, cryptography, physical and environment security, operational security, communication security, system acquisition, development and maintenance, supplier relationship, information security incident management, information security aspect of business continuity management, and compliance. So with this 14, we can say we are able to cover the whole security, starting from the governance part till the compliance part. We are able to cover each component of the security in a complete way. So if you go through this particular standard, then it is very easy for you to understand the CISM also, or the requirement of the CISM also. Also, this particular standard 27001 colon 2013 also provides you an annexure. That particular annexure provides 114 controls for the control clauses. For the 14 control clauses, in the 14 control clauses, they have provided 114 controls. So you have a bottom level detailing also, like what are the controls which need to be implemented in any particular environment. So you can use this particular standard. So this document 27001 colon 2013 is about the requirement part. Requirement of the full name of this particular standard is Security Techniques Information Security Management Systems Requirement. So this covers the requirement related to information security management system. The next document, the 27002, that is about the code of practice for information security management systems. It means how to implement those standards, or how to comply with the standard defined in the 27001. That is about uh, that is mentioned in the 27002. So once you have this understanding of these two standards, then it is very easy for you to understand the overall management, I can say information security management going on in that particular organization. Also, there are some more standard we can say, sorry, this 27002 colon 2013 is about the security techniques, that is the code of practice for information security controls. As the domain 3 is about risk management, then you need to understand some of the risk management standard also. And as we are talking about ISO series itself, then in ISO there are two. First one is the ISO 27005 colon 2011, which is a information security risk management document. So it gives us a complete detailing of the risk management processes, risk management controls, each and everything it gives us in detail. We also have a dedicated series for risk management in ISO. We call it by the name of ISO 31000 series. So this 31000 series have two major standards which we can use in our environment. Like one is the ISO 31000 colon 2009, which is a risk management which provides all the principles and guidelines related to risk management. And the second one is the ISO 31010:2009, which is about the risk assessment techniques. So using these two standards, we can complete the overall risk management of any particular organization, because the first document will provide us about all the principles and the guidelines for risk management. And the second document, that is 31010, provide all the risk assessment techniques which we can implement in any particular environment. But as the ISO series is a paid series, so generally it is we are avoiding paid series if it is not provided by the organization itself. But still, I just want to say have an idea of about these ISO series, ISO 27000 and ISO 31000, and whatever standards I have mentioned, 27001, 27002, and the 31000 and the 30000 31010. So these four, just go through the documents which are available on internet in for these particular standards, because if you have the knowledge of these standards, CISM is very easy for you. I just want to say that, right? Then we, in the NIST also, we have these standards available with us, like the NIST document 861, which is about a guideline for handling computer incidents. So that is a very good document. And also the NIST documents are free of cost. So that's why also it is very easy for us to understand all this and to download the same from internet and understand the same. Then we have the NIST document 839, which is about managing information security risk for organization, mission, and information system view. So these are the different standards which are available in uh, for information security management systems. So once you have this understanding of these documents, then it is very easy for you. But the challenge here is there are so many standards available. So how to do a mapping in all these standards? That is the biggest challenge. There are very few documents available which do this mapping. There are some documents which do one-to-one mapping of some of the standards, like COBIT to ISO or ISO to NIST particular document. But there are very few documents. Even I'm able to get only one document till now which do this mapping of control, end-to-end mapping of each and every control. So let me share this standard with you. This is a cloud control matrix, right? This is a cloud control matrix which is given by the CSA, that is the Cloud Security Alliance. Okay, so as per this we can say, yeah, this is the standard CCM. So the latest version of the CCM standard is, yeah, now you might be thinking this is related to cloud control. Why exactly is required for CISM? I just want to say, I'm not talking about the cloud security here. I'm just talking about the standards which you need to know for as an information security manager. So all these standards are mentioned in this particular document. That's why I'm referring this particular document, right? So if you see that there are total 16 control domains available in overall security. These are related to the application security, application and interface security, about the audit assurance and compliance, about the business continuity and operational resilience, about the change control and configuration management, about the data security and information lifecycle management, about the data center security, about encryption. So these are the 16 domains total for security. So it covers everything which is required in any secure in any environment to secure to make that particular environment secure. So these are the 16 covering from it covers the mobile security, threat and vulnerability management, supply chain management, transparency, and all the controls related to the same I have mentioned here in this particular. So when you go in this particular document, you will see the control domain. Control domain is this part, right? So these are our control domains. So in this particular control domain, if I scroll it down to the application interface security and application security, right? So I am having a control detailing of the same here. And if I scroll it down to this side, then I'm able to see the different standards. Just move out to the standard for which you want to focus on, right? Like in this particular case, I want to focus on the COVID. So this particular control domain is covered in the COVID in these particular sub topics of the COVID, right? So my focus is on the COVID now. With COVID, my focus is also on the other documents like I can say ISO. So let me focus on the ISO. So ISO is also covered here, ISO 27001 2013. So these are the control which are mentioned here in the annexure. It was there. So all these controls are covered in this particular control domain. If you want to map the same with PCI DSS or you want to map the same with hit trust, then hit trust is also there. Then PCI DSS is also there. So all the standards you will find that each and here is the PCI DSS. So all these things are already available in this particular document. So you need not to do the mapping of all these control. If you understand one standard, then it is very easy for you to understand rest of the standards also. And as a suggestion, for CISM, I just want to say just go through these control domains once, that these are the 16 control domains related to information security. And these 16 control domains have some of the controls defined which are given in this particular domain. And these control domains and these control objectives or control specifications are already available here, and just go through the mapping of those. If you are able to understand this particular mapping, then it is very easy for you to understand any of the standards. Like I'm just taking one example here. If I'm talking about mobile, okay, I will take related to the supply chain, or I will take this threat and vulnerability management of the mobile code. So this is the control which is there for this particular control domain. So this particular control is covered in different standards. And as per the ISO standard, it is covered in the sorry, in the COBIT also it is covered, because here as per the CISM you need to focus on the COBIT, you need to focus on the CISM, and you need to focus on the NIST. So these are the only four standards which you need to focus on. Rest for time being you can just leave them, but as you progress in your career in information security, you need to understand other frameworks also. So here you will find the list of all the frameworks, one thing. Second, you are able to find the mapping between those frameworks. So that is the beauty of this particular document. Yes, this is for the cloud security, but you can use it for your own purpose also. The reason for the same is the security will remains the same. Whether we are talking about the cloud security, the controls will vary. Some of the controls will vary, but most of the controls will remain the same. The infrastructure will remain same in cloud also, as well as the network security that will also remain the same in cloud also. Physical security, it will remain the same with the cloud security. The governance part, it will remain there in the cloud security. The supply management part, it will be there in the cloud security. The threat management and the vulnerability management part, these will remain with the cloud security. So we can say when we are talking about cloud security, whatever is there in other security domains, everything is also covered in that particular sections also. And also, as cloud security is need of the hour, if you are able to understand these here itself in this particular document itself, then it is very easy for you to understand the same in the rest of the documents also. Okay, so this is one part which I want to say that you need to follow this and just start referring these on daily basis. This is one document. The next document which I want to share with you is about the Information Security Handbook, which is a guide for a manager for information security provided by the this NIST. Okay, let me share it with you. That is, I can say this is the wonderful book, and my advice is first of all, just go through uh, the guideline book, and then only you should go through any other document. Even if it is related to CISM, then also do not go into that particular. Just first go through this, then only you should go to any particular. I'm sharing the link of this on the chat box so that it will be easier for you. Because if you understand this particular NIST document, then I can say you have a holistic view of the complete, um, I can say, information security working of related to the governance and related to the each and everything will be very clear to you. So I can say this NIST document will provide every detail, like Let me come to the index of this. From the index itself, you are able to understand that what exactly I'm saying. And I will also map the same with the syllabus of, I can say, this CISM, that whatever we are discussing in CISM syllabus, that is already given in this particular document. So the very first is about introduction. Just leave the introduction, that is not required in our case. Just start with the information security governance part. So the first domain of CISM is about information security governance. The concept there of information security governance, they are given here in a very simple language, and also very short concepts are given related to the strategy, related to the planning, related to the responsibilities of different organizational heads, right? So you have a complete and clear picture of the information security governance using this particular document. And here the topic 2.2.4, which is about the federal enterprise architecture, just replace the same with the organizational enterprise architecture, or we can say enterprise architecture normally. So then the information security policy and guidance and the ongoing monitoring. So it will cover each and everything which is related to the governance part. Then comes the system development lifecycle. As the information security manager, you need to bring some information security component on board, and then you need to manage them. You need to first I can say implement or install them in your network, then you need to manage them, then finally after their end of life you need to just remove them from your network. So this is whole about the system development life cycle, right? So this is covered here in this particular document itself. Then comes the awareness and training. When we are talking about information security manager, it is your top responsibility to create information security awareness and training program in your organization, and that is same is also mentioned in the CISM also. So every detail of the same is given here about the awareness, about the training, about the certification. That is everything is mentioned here itself in this particular document. Next comes the capital planning and investment control. Whenever you are going to take any particular permission from the top management, then you require what? You require a proper commitment from your end. So here you need to do a capital planning and investment control. So when we are going to discuss about these here, it covers everything about the integration of the information security in the capital planning and investment control, about the how to identify the baseline, how to prioritize the criteria for purchasing, how to conduct system and enterprise level prioritization, that these are the components which I need to purchase now, these are the components which I can purchase later on. So each and everything is covered here in this particular document. And then comes it also discusses about the interconnecting systems. Here it is. It also discusses about the interconnecting systems. It means whenever you want to connect multiple systems together as an information security manager, you need to understand what are the things which you need to focus on, right? And in case of any termination, what are the things which you need to take care of, right? So planning, establishing, maintaining, and disconnection of all these interconnection is a part of which is covered here in this particular document. Then comes the performance measure, or we can say the metrics. As we already discussed, to the top level, or we can say the governance board or the top management level, you need to provide the metrics related to the information security status of your organization, right? Here this particular chapter 7 of this particular guideline book covers all those metric concepts. It will tell you how you can develop those, how you can implement the metrics, and how you can just give those metrics to the top management, right? Then comes the security planning. The security planning covers everything which is we discussed in the domain 3 of CISM, about the security plan, about the boundaries, about the security control. So everything is covered here in this particular. And then comes the information technology contingency planning. So this particular chapter, that is the chapter 9, covers the development contingency planning, business impact analysis, BIA. So all these things are either covered in the domain 4, and some of them are covered also in the risk management part. And if you check the very next chapter, that is the risk management, chapter 10 is about risk management only, right? So it covers everything about the starting phase till the end phase of the risk management, and it gives you the whole detail in a very crisp and in a very perfect way, so that it is very easy for you to understand also. So using this document you cover everything, right? Then comes the certification, accreditation, and security assessment. So that is also covered in the domain 3 of CISM. Then comes the security services and product acquisition. So whenever you are going to take any managed services from outside, or whether you are going to acquire some product from outside, what are the things which you need to keep in your mind? But whatever the things which you need to take care of, everything is discussed in this particular topic. That is the the chapter. That is the chapter 12. And the last one, the second last is the incident response. It covers the whole domain of CISM, right? About the preparation phase, about the detection and analysis phase, about the containment, eradication, recovery phase, and also about the post-incident activity, that is the learning. Okay, and then comes the configuration management, the patch management, vulnerability management, and the third component, that is the configuration management. So this particular section is covered here. So if you go through this particular document, then you cover each and everything which is related to a day-to-day activity of any information security manager. So just having a CISM certification is not enough. You need to understand what are the roles and responsibilities which a information security manager need to handle, and how he can handle them in a effectively way. So this particular document will help you in all these things. If you check out the acronym list of this particular document, then you will find that whatever the BIA and whatever the acronyms we are using in CISM, most of them are here also the same, right? With this, I also want to suggest one more thing. You need to check out okay, it is not mentioned here, but I will share it with you separately. So whatever our information security management require, all those concepts are already covered by this particular NIST publication. That is the NIST Special Publication 800-100. Right? So my advice is, please download it and then just go through each and every page of this particular document. I can say it is a Bible. It is a Bible for every information security manager, because it covers end to end everything what exactly a information security manager need to do. And for CISM exam, if you are able to understand the responsibility, right? If you are able to understand the responsibilities, roles, and tasks related to an information security manager, then you can easily answer any scenario which is given in those particular uh, exam, right? So with this, I just want to say, prepare well for the exam, give full dedication, and I just want to add one more things, like let me come to this slide, that go through the task statement, because if you are able to understand this particular document and then you touch the task statement, you will find the correlation in between them. And if you do the task statement, then you are able to handle the scenarios which you will get in the exam. So all these things are interrelated. But as a starting point, I can say start with the document first. That is the NIST document, Special Publication 800-100. I will provide a video on the same very soon also. But by the time you start studying that, my video will be a review of the whole document. But for the CISM exam and as an information security manager, it is for you, it is very good to go in depth in this particular document. Then touch the task statement. The knowledge statements, most of them are already covered by this particular document, but still, whatever the knowledge statements you are not able to cover, I am going to discuss about each and every task statement mapping with a particular knowledge statement in my videos, in my coming videos. Okay, with this, I just want to say start using multiple tools, because whenever you are going to touch a single tool, it is not possible to cover everything. Also, suppose you cover a particular domain from a book, then to revise that particular domain, use the Quizlet, or you can use the mind map to have a complete picture of the same, or you can use the notes or the videos, task videos or the knowledge videos which I'm going to upload in my Google Classroom. So with this, I just want to say that's what all for the class, for today's class is. If you have any query, you can write it down on the chat box. I will just reply on the same, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for watching this complete series of CISM. And with this, definitely within a day or two, you will start getting all the task related videos, okay, task statement related videos on the Google Classroom as well as the on my YouTube channel. So keep watching for more such videos and have a successful future in information security. With this, thank you.